Okay, this is the last time we're gonna have to do this with me just being here like, oh god, what to talk about. So, we're on our way over to the boss now. I've skipped back up to where that lady invader wrecked me. I got parried and then absolutely demolished, as tends to happen. So, the boss is coming up, and he's my favorite, but there's nothing particularly exciting about it either. I tend to like the fights that are just dudes in armor. Spoiler warning, it might be a dude in armor. So, because I find they tend to be more interesting than the big lumbering assholes, because there's a little bit more, like, to and fro, you know, a bit more dueling action going on, but without the cards. So, and I think this boss is, like, the best for that. Took me a while to beat him, because he's just very aggressive. He's just a very aggressive man, and he doesn't take any shit. Then we're gonna like bum around the last part of this area, and then it's gonna be all good. We're not gonna have to do this again. It's just gonna be the actual live commentary. There will be no more awkward conversations. We're gonna watch the first attempt at the boss, then I'm gonna stop talking, because any excuse to not have to fill space for like 5 minutes, you know. Any old excuse, I'll take it. So here he is, right? It's Gundyr, yet again, but Gundyr, different at the same time. This Gundyr does not have a symbiote in him. It's just Champion Gundyr. And he's like 8 times more aggressive. So there's the first attempt where I got absolutely trashed. And when I said we're going to watch the first attempt, what I meant was we're going to watch the first attempt that doesn't end after 5 seconds. Because where's the fun in that? But yes, I got thoroughly trounced, as you may have noticed. That's a trend that continued for quite a while. Took me a few attempts to just, like, get it, you know? But then I got it, and then it was just, like, not getting wrecked by him. Because he's very aggressive, jumps on you. He has an actual, like, fighting game combo where he, like, knocks you in the air, and then he kicks you while you're in the air. He legitimately juggles you with this combo. It's terrible. Champion Gundyr is not fucking around. And I'd say he's definitely one of the hardest fights in the game. But the Dark Souls 3 is kind of weird, because I find a lot of the bosses are kind of easy. Like, Pontiff Sullivan is the first really difficult one. And then there's like a couple difficult ones after that, because he's like pretty late in the game. And then there's a couple other difficult ones, but for the most part I find the bosses to be relatively simple in Dark Souls 3. Which is weird. Though part of that might also just be experience, because I've played every Souls game, except Demon Souls, because I don't have a console to play it on. I did have a console to play it on, but I don't have the console anymore, so I can't play it, basically. But every other Souls game I've played, so it could just be that I'm used to it. Because there's only so many tricks you can pull, right? After a while, it's all going to start to seem familiar. Like, you know, there's going to be the Blight Town analogy. There's going to be like the one boss that's just ridiculous to fight. There's gonna be total booby traps that you'll fall for the first time and then be like, oh, how could I have been so stupid? You know, stuff like that. Eventually, it all comes around to being the same. That move, by the way, do not get hit by that move where he charges at you. Because, oh my god, if he hits you with every part of that move, it basically kills you. And then you gotta find time to heal. But Gundyr ain't fucking around. He ain't just gonna let you heal. No, no, no. I find that the trick to Gundyr is to just stay close to Gundyr at all times. Do not back away from Gundyr. Because once you back away, once you show him the fear within your eyes, that's when he's going to strike, when you're at your most vulnerable, when you're afraid and drinking your orange juice. Alright. Now I'm going to stop talking while we watch the attempt that's actually successful, right? Because the music's also very good. You should listen to the music.
There we go, that's Champion Gundyr. Pretty much pure pattern recognition as far as a boss goes. There's not really a strategy I found, I just had to fight him enough times until I knew what all his animations looked like, and then it was not so difficult at that point. Alright, so the soul. Yep, there it is. Once a champion came late to the festivities and was greeted by a shrine without fire and a bell that would not toll. Whatever that means. But I liked Gundyr a lot. For the same reason that I liked the, I'm gonna try the glaive for like 3 seconds and not like it, by the way. Basically the same reason I like the Abyss Watchers a lot as a boss. I just think it's a very, like, exciting fight. It's just the combination of, like, Gundyr being brutal as fuck and, like, nice music, basically. It makes it feel very exciting, I like it. So yeah, then I didn't like the glaive. Too slow. I find the slow weapons in Dark Souls are not very good.
basically the reason I keep using the Irithyll sword for so long. It just attacks fast and does decent damage, so, you know. Because I find if the weapon attacks really slow, it's really hard, basically, to do anything. Because I tried the scythe, because scythes are cool, but it just attacks so slowly. Same with the greatsword, it's just so fucking slow. Though I am sad that I created the wrong greatsword, because you can create Artorias' greatsword with the Abyss Watcher's soul, or you could create the greatsword that has the dagger. And don't get me wrong, the greatsword with the dagger is rad as fucking hell. Just fucking grind across the ground with your dagger, it's pretty intense. But in like 5 seconds time, well, in like 2 minutes, I'm gonna find Artorias' armor. So I'm pretty upset I didn't make the Artorias greatsword in hindsight. But at the same time, how could I have ever known, you know? Havel's armor is somewhere in the game as well, I've been informed, but I don't know where. Though apparently there's like a lot of invisible walls in this game. Or illusionary walls, I should say, because invisible wall is like literally the exact opposite of what it's doing. But I've found like not very many, and I've been told there's quite a few. Also, yeah, we're fighting some Black Knights now, which is weird. This whole place is very weird. I don't know, man. I don't get it exactly. But again, I'm not smart enough to understand Dark Souls lore. I've got to be told, basically. Because this is like a copy of Firelink Shrine. And like, I don't know, man. It's just Firelink Shrine in the gaping void. Weird stuff. Also, I don't know why this Black Knight's giving me so much trouble. Like, this is not exactly the first time I've ever fought a Black Knight in a Souls game, you know? But past me is just thoroughly useless. As we've established. There you go, finally got him. This isn't like a full copy of Firelink Shrine, because you can't go up into the tower and around on the rooftops or anything. You just can't interact with the door at all. Now I'm going to look at the Chaos Blade, but Chaos Blade, of course, hurts you to use it, which is not really what I'm into. I'm reading it now, yep. Not terribly exciting description. Basically, I'm like, attacks also damage its wielder, and I'm like, oh right, that is what the Chaos Blade does, isn't it? And then I decide not to use the Chaos Blade. Yeah, you can't interact with any of these doors. You can go into Firelink Shrine, and that's it, basically. And you can go around, like, all the back areas and everything. But you can't, like, go up on the roof and talk to Pickle P and Pumperum or anything like that. And, there's like a thing, there's like some eyeballs back here that I, like, don't understand. I know this game's got multiple endings, but, they're, like, tied to storylines, which I didn't do. I've done, like, no storylines, because I just didn't know how to do them, basically. They're a lot more obtuse in this game, I find. But there's some eyes back here that are, like, somehow related to the Firekeeper. I don't know. I don't get it yet. I haven't looked into everything yet, so I still don't know right now. But yeah, like, there's some eyes and the Firekeeper, and I'm basically during this, I, like, take them to her, and then this weird exchange happens with her. I don't know. Basically, I don't do anything with it because I'm like, I don't know what any of this does, so I'm not gonna fuck with it, basically. Now, however, I have beaten the game, so I'm just gonna look everything up. I'm gonna go do all the storylines. I'm gonna go get the full, like, experience out of everything. Old lady's there. Old lady's the only one that's here, though.
Well,
everyone else is gone.
A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell. Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee?
And she has Artorias' armor. And basically I opened this shop and was like, instantly. And then bought it without hesitation. And now I'm going to put it on. Because Artorias remains my favorite character out of all the Dark Souls games. I just really dig him as a character and his design. There we go. And now we're Artorias. And that's how it's going to be for a while until I commit hard to the next theme I go with. Yeah, Andre's not here. It's just the old lady. I don't know if that's like the same dialogue for the old lady when you first meet her, because that was a long time ago. That's like months ago at this point, like literally since I spoke to her. I've not done any other run-throughs of Dark Souls 3 yet, which is weird. But at the same time, Overwatch did just come out, and I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, because that's a very good game. Highly recommend purchasing it. So far, I've gotten like 150 hours out of it, and it only cost me $40. That's a pretty good deal, if you ask me, right there. What did the description say for this? Set to the eyes of the first Firekeeper in the lair. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't looked it up yet. Overwatch is good. Yeah, you should buy Overwatch. I say it cost me $40. That's not strictly true, because all of my friends are too poor, so I bought them copies of Overwatch. I bought like 6 copies of Overwatch. I'm like rapidly turning into Blizzard's best customer. Cause but Overwatch it's worth it. That's a superb game. I don't usually like to give something like a 10 out of 10, but I'll give Overwatch a 10 out of 10. Fantastic game. Like it a lot. It gets compared to TF2 a lot. Don't think that's a very fair comparison. It just like has payload and capture point, but like those have existed in other games beside TF2. Like TF2 is a pretty slow game, relatively speaking. Overwatch is very fast, as you'd expect of a game that contains a cyborg ninja. But whatever. So now I forget how much of me wandering around I've left in here. I think everything, basically. But we've pretty much found everything at this point. Now I'm just being like trying to check everywhere else for hidden stuff. Basically, you come here for the eyes and the armor. That's pretty much it. Oh, and the coiled sword fragment. Because you can't really go anywhere else. Then after this, I'm gonna go back, talk to the Firekeeper, and this is the first time I noticed this. I still don't know if that's in the real Firelink. I was like, oh, there's a giant tree here. I didn't know. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and talk to the Firekeeper, and then that's it. Then we don't have to do this we don't have to have this awkward exchange anymore. It's just all gonna be good. It's all gonna be fantastic. There's not actually too terribly much left of the game at this point, because there's the castle still, like the castle proper, and the bonus area where the Path of the Dragon and all that, and then that's it. Actually, that's the game. So we're closing in on the end. After what feels like a very long time, we're closing in on it. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but it escapes me now. Also, I don't know if these knights can like drop stuff. I don't know if any of them did. But I have spectacularly bad luck with Black Knights and their sword and their weapons. They never drop, ever, for me. I'm just unlucky. I'm just cursed. I don't know what to tell you. I was gonna say something, but it's gone. Couldn't have been terribly important, I suppose, if I can't remember what it was. oh yeah, and then I was like, wait, what does this armor actually say about this? And he's just like, yeah, Artorias was a cool dude, basically. Or we think he was. It was actually chosen undead that, like, stopped the Abyss from taking everything over, but it got attributed to Artorias. Because, you know, Artorias we've been over that one before. Basically, Artorias got fucked, and then we unfucked it. And we beat up, Manus, who may or may not be the furtive pygmy, depending on which theory you believe. I tend to hedge on Manus being the furtive pygmy, but, you know. I can't remember what I'm gonna say today, apparently. It just keeps going. It just keeps leaving. But we're almost done. We got like, let me see, we got like 2 minutes left, and then it's all good. We're going to now go and talk to the Firekeeper. And I'm gonna be like, I don't know, how awkward. I'm just gonna leave you to that.
Welcome home, I speak. Ashen One, are these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we Firekeepers have been missing. Very well, then taken.
There's more. There's more. I just apparently elected to do this first. And now I'm like, oh, what to do? Blah, 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 blah.
Farewell, mayst thou. Welcome, speak. Ashen One, my thanks for the eyes thou hast given. But Firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal. A world without fire. Ashen One, is this truly thy wish?
And then I'm like, I don't really wish for a world without fire, and, you know, I'm like,
Of course not. Please, kill me, and take these eyes away.
And now I'm like,
Seduced by the thin light, and the awful betrayal.
And now I'm like, I don't really want to do that either. And now I kind of regret this whole eye situation. And I'm like, I'm just going to leave you to it and think about that one for a while. But that's it. We're basically done now. It's going to cut off in a few seconds. So, thank goodness, no more of this awkwardness.